This is a Gbpjpy weekly recap, and I'm going to go over the fourth week of August analysis and then how it actually played out. So this is the analysis. Looking for a break above 140 to continue up, and otherwise break below the trend line and below 137.8 to exit out of the bullish market structure for safer sells. So I said that daily bullish trend line, need to see how price reacts to this level, right? There's an also intraday 138.800 level, and then our resistance at 140. So let's see how it played out. So this is how we reacted to the trend line. 1 second. Let me just add this level here. Okay, so we didn't reach 137.8. Trend line reacted. We got a bullish move. We closed above we started closing about 140, and then we continued up to 140.8, which was initially the first target, right? And then we were planning for further upside. So I'm going to show what the proper moves for the week were. There was a couple. There was around 3. I only caught 2 of them. So these 3 would be the ones. I really didn't like this middle one because of the massive amount of consolidation, but let's go over them. Let me just move these. So essentially, this was Monday, and then Tuesday we came down and retested this trend line, right? Once we broke this consolidation here, price started moving up, and this move here was pre-London. So pre-London went up. We saw that 4-hour initially. This 4-hour candle that closes at 1 a.m. closed above this previous market structure. The next one retested and then continued up. Continued up straight to this level right here, which would have been our first target, right? And then this would have been the next one. Cool. Okay, so let's see what happened in lower time frames. In lower time frames, all price did was, after this bullish move, when trend line, it respected the trend line, right? We came up, created a high, and then we created a lower high. And when we created the lower high near 138.800, right? 138.800, we created it after we started closing above it, and then we continued up. So entries taken at 138.800 would have been the best, and then your take profit would have been literally at these highs, this high right here, because that's market structure. 15 pip stop loss, super 1 to 7 risk reward, right? Okay, and then so on higher time frame, we got that surge of bullish momentum, and we knew that the next targets were at the top. But we also had this little wick over here to get through before, because we were getting through this. We got through this, we reached this, right? So, but we had to get through 140.2 to make it to go even higher. Okay, so going to lower time frames, on Wednesday we saw consolidation happen after this bullish move, and price just started consolidating. Closer to London, we had mass amount of consolidation, price accumulating orders to generate liquidity so we can push further up. So best entry, I really didn't like this because of how choppy it was, but essentially it was just from 1 a.m. to 9 a.m., 8 hours, it was just consolidating, but price was consolidating between 139.85 to 139.6. So 25 pips. Best entries would have been at this line here, right at the bottom, where these where it bottoms out here, not in the middle, right? So we're not trying to take entries in the middle, right at the pinpoint, like even here, right? So we know that this level is going to hold, and then if you were to trade this, and then 8 a.m., 8 after New York Open would have been proper, or anywhere, as long as you were willing to hold through the consolidation. I personally don't like it. I like one-sided volatility. So again, stop loss below market structure always. 12 pips in this case, 52 pips, right? So there's that. So that is Wednesday. Okay, Thursday was super nice. So as you can see, 140.2 buy range was completed, right? Let me show you. So this was the level we had. This was the range that we had to fill / take out before we continued up, and we reached it after. So we got a continuation of this this bullish move. After we consolidated, we got another push up, right? So push up consolidation move. right? So we got that 50 pips, okay? And then price started consolidating again, okay? Consolidating at 200 and 140.200. So essentially, we had on Thursday, we knew that this, one second, I'm just going to extend this a bit. So essentially, we knew that this was the 1 hour higher time frame level, right? So when price was consolidating here, there's no reason for price to reverse from here because we know GJ likes doing these nasty liquidity grabs. So what's the point of price continuing up from here versus if price can just dip down, grab liquidity at a solid market structure level and then continue up, right? We know those are the best ones. Like here, liquidity grab, right? Liquidity, instead of continuing from here, grab liquidity and then continued up, right? So very common over here as well. Liquidity grab, liquidity, grabbing liquidity, right? So essentially at the best move, so this was just consolidating. Best move was 7 a.m. So 7 a.m. on Thursday, price came back down to this level and immediately rejected it. Not immediately, you still had around 10 minutes worth of time to secure, to enter. I posted it on the daily trade recap, and essentially this was another 100 pips right to our first target of 140.8, and I said that would reach as soon as we broke 140. And when we did break 140, we we maintained that bullish market structure and continued above. Okay. And then let me just go. So we reached 140.8, which was the initial target on daily, right? Due to this over here, lots of price activity around this area right here, candle bodies closing below, right? So solid level, price maintaining, tapping in here for to generate orders, right? So we had that, and then what we saw was after that move ended and like before London closed on Thursday, price started consolidating at 140.8. And once we broke 140.8, this was an Asian, we pushed up. So we continued up. So the whole week was just bullish move, consolidation, bullish move, consolidation, bullish move, consolidation, bullish move, right? So I don't trade in Asian, but if you left a runner, you could have caught more pips here, which was another extra, just extend this out, 80 pips, extra 80 pips. So this was another, I don't trade Asian, so I'm not going to count this as a proper setup, but it is still following market structure. As soon as 140.8 broke, we continued up, right? Where did we find resistance? Found resistance as 141.5. I didn't have that level marked out, but now that I'm looking at it, it is pretty evident. I'm just going to remove this and show you why. Right here, 140, like where these candle bodies are, right? Even like this wick tapped it, right? Over here, we have a tap into this level and these candle bodies closing below it. Cool. So let's go back here. Okay, so we found that resistance, right? We found resistance, and Friday we saw a huge sell-off. So I actually caught this over here as soon as price tapped. So we saw this, and then 1 a.m. 4-hour open in pre-London, and immediately dropped. Where did it drop to? It dropped to market structure. It dropped straight to 140.8, and immediately I took a buy. So I took a buy. I quickly caught 30 pips. As soon as price tapped here, I entered right here. It was a very quick move because I knew it was market structure, so we're going to see some sort of reaction after dropping like 60 pips in 2 minutes. We were going to see some sort of reaction. I had a very tight stop loss. I entered right at the bottom of this wick up here at 140.81, and then I exited at 30 pips at around 141.12. So I caught that, ended the week early on Friday, 10 minutes within pre-London. But I saw it really a proper move. It was more of a scalp. We're here for proper moves, but it was nevertheless. So what happened was Friday consolidation at level, lower high made, then we dropped down, right? Another lower high made, and then essentially price just started consolidating and breaking below the level. Once it broke below, it continued down a bit more, down to this level here. So that is GJ for the week. Friday was a sell-off. Even last Friday we had a sell-off right here, and then another one here. I will go and analyze GJ in a bit and then upload that. But yeah, one proper move, 100 pips. Second proper move, 60, 160, and then another like 110. So like 270 pips for the week on GJ. Amazing. GJ does like 10 to proper moves are over 50 pips. So 1, 2, 3 proper moves. And this one I'm not really going to count because I personally didn't like it. This started happening in pre-London. And this dropped right away as soon as the 4-hour candle opened. This was very low risk because it was just retesting the previous market structure, right? So when we do come down to initially retest market structure, GJ does tend to give away some pips. So it was a quick 30 pips. I exited up here because of this price activity over here. And honestly, it was a good way to end the week. And yeah, that's about it. So I will analyze in a bit and I'll upload that.